The last 7 days have moved at a breakneck pace. So to end today's show, we wanted to slow down and look back at some of the key moments from the past week. It starts Wednesday night, September 18th, when the Washington Post reports the president's communication with a foreign leader was part of a whistleblower complaint. The reporting said the president made an improper promise to a foreign leader that was deemed concerning. The next day, Thursday the 19th, members of Congress were still left in the dark because they had not yet received the complaint.
We do not have the complaint. We do not know whether the press reports are accurate or inaccurate about the contents of that complaint.
Hours later, on Thursday, reports reveal the call in question was to the president of Ukraine. That same night, the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, goes on CNN and sheds some context on concerns the improper promise was related to Joe Biden.
So you did ask Ukraine to look into Joe Biden?
Of course I did. If the president of the United States said to the president of Ukraine, investigate the corruption in your country that has a bearing on our 2016 election, isn't that what he's supposed to do?
On Friday the 20th, the president denies saying anything wrong.
It doesn't matter what I discuss, but I will say this. Somebody ought to look into Joe Biden's statement because it was disgraceful, where he talked about billions of dollars that he's not giving to a certain country unless a certain prosecutor is taken off the case. It was a totally appropriate conversation. It was actually a beautiful conversation.
The next day, on Saturday the 21st, Joe Biden is asked if the president should be impeached.
Depending on what the House finds, you could be impeached, but I'm not making that judgment now.
You don't think
the House should investigate it. The House should investigate this.
On Sunday, September 22nd, there were signs the dam on impeachment was about to crack.
Is it an impeachable offense in your view?
If the president is essentially withholding military aid at the same time that he is trying to browbeat a foreign leader into doing something illicit, that is providing dirt on his opponent during a presidential campaign, then that may be the only remedy that is co-equal to the evil that conduct represents.
And Speaker Pelosi Sunday releases a statement saying if the administration blocks the complaint, it would, quote, take us into a whole new stage of investigation. On Monday, September 23rd, the president hinted a transcript of the call would be released while denying reports he threatened to withhold aid.
I hope you get to see the call because your question, you will see, I did not ask for, I did not make a statement that you have to do this or I'm not going to give you aid. I wouldn't do that.
Monday night, the Washington Post reports Trump froze military aid to Ukraine days before calling the Ukrainian president. The president is once again pressed about this.
We're supporting a country. We want to make sure that country is honest. It's very important to talk about corruption. If you don't talk about corruption, why would you give money to a country that you think is corrupt?
That same night, 7 freshman Democrats come out in support for an impeachment inquiry, citing the Ukraine controversy. On Tuesday morning, the 24th, the drumbeat toward impeachment reached fever pitch as the number of Democrats in support of an inquiry grew, including the influential Congressman John Lewis.
The future of our democracy is at stake. There comes a time when you have to be moved by the spirit of history to take action to protect and preserve the integrity of our nation. I truly believe, the time to begin impeachment proceedings against this president.
Hours later on Tuesday, the president tweets he would authorize the release of the transcript of the call. But by then, Democrats had decided they had had enough. At 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Speaker Nancy Pelosi made it official.
Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry.
On Wednesday morning, the summary of the call was released hours before the president met with his Ukrainian counterpart. It showed the president asking for a favor in having Ukraine look into Biden. Republican allies circled the wagons.
From my point of view, to impeach any president over a phone call like this would be insane.
That same day, the whistleblower complaint is delivered to Congress as the president holds his first news conference since the impeachment inquiry was announced.
Are you now braced for a long impeachment saga?
Well, I thought we won. I thought it was dead. It was dead.
Thursday morning, the plot thickens as the redacted whistleblower complaint is released, alleging the president sought Ukraine's help in interfering with the 2020 election. It also alleges the White House tried to restrict access to the call. Speaker Pelosi summed up the Democratic response.
This is a cover-up. This is a cover-up.
Thank the gentleman.
The acting director of national intelligence, Joseph McGuire, testifies about the complaint and rejects any claims that the whistleblower was acting in bad faith.
I think the whistleblower did the right thing. I think he followed the law every step of the way.
That leads us to this afternoon and the president slamming the whistleblower and the impeachment process.
It's a disgrace to our country. It's another witch hunt. Here we go again. It's Adam Schiff and his crew making up stories and sitting there like pious, whatever you want to call them. It's just really a disgrace. It's a terrible thing for our country.